Hello students, now we are going to study about the first chemical class of anti-cancer drugs, that are alkylating agents. Alkylating agents work by providing the electrophilic alkyl group to the N7 position of guanine, which is a strong nucleophile. The DNA alkylating agents are bifunctional, such as the nitrogen mustards and nitrosoureas. That means the one molecule of the drug can bind to two distinct DNA bases. Most commonly, the alkylated bases are on the different molecules and they interstand DNA. Cross-linking through two guanine N7 atoms result. This is the time when DNA is unwinding and exposing its nucleotides, increasing the chance that vulnerable DNA functional groups will encounter the electrophilic anti-neoplastic drug. Now, DNA alkylators have a great capacity for inducing both mutagenesis and carcinogenesis. In other words, they can promote cancer in addition to treating it. Today we are going to see the chemistry and mechanism of action of one of the class of alkylating agents, that is nitrogen mustard. Alkylating agents, this is the chemical class of anti-cancer drugs which have nitrogen mustard as a subclass. The general structure of nitrogen mustard is, we have a nitrogen, then a ethyl group which is attached to the chlorine. The other side also the same structure, H2, CH2, Cl. And there is a argon. So this is the general structure of an alkylating agent. The name is bis, which stands for 2 beta halo alkyl amine. Bis stands for 2, beta is alpha and beta. At the beta position we have chlorine group, and this substituent is twice in the structure. So here also it is alpha, beta, so beta halo alkyl, and this particular part is amine. Presence of two chlorine atoms decrease the basicity. The presence of two chlorine atoms decrease the basicity of nitrogen atom by strong inductive effect. Chlorines are highly electronegative. They pull towards itself the electrons, and through -I effect they decrease the density of electrons on nitrogen. So the basicity of nitrogen is decreased. As a result, the unionized conjugate of these drugs predominates at the physiological pH. This is intentional because it is the unionized amine that allows the formation of highly electrophilic aziridinium ion, and aziridinium ion, which is the reactive DNA destroyer intermediate, which is generated by all the different types of nitrogen mustards. Now we'll see some structures of nitrogen mustards. The first one is mechlorethamine. The structure is, we have a nitrogen to one part side, it is chloroethyl group, which is twice in the structure, so it is chloroethyl, and the R group, which is present here in the general structure. In case of mechlorethamine, it is CH3. So we can remember the name and the structure from the name itself. Me stands for methyl, chlor stands for this chlorine group, eth stands for this ethyl group, and amine for the nitrogen. So this is the way we can try to remember the structure's name. The next structure is chlorambucil. Chlorambucil. So this is the part which is shared by all the nitrogen mustards. So it is CH2, CH2, Cl, CH2, CH2, Cl. But this side there is an aromatic group. We have a phenyl ring, and from the word bucil, we can remember the name of the drug, that is that it is having a butyric acid. So this is the structure of chlorambucil. The next nitrogen mustard which we are going to study is melphalan. This melphalan, it gives an idea that our structure contains phenylalanine. So we have a benzene ring here which is attached to the nitrogen mustard, and to this side it is attached to phenylalanine. And so this is melphalan, another nitrogen mustard. One more nitrogen mustard which we are going to study is cyclophosphamide. From the name itself we can identify that there is a cyclic group, cyclic phosphamide. So PONH is phosphamide, which is in the cyclic form and attached to the nitrogen mustard. So this is the structure of cyclophosphamide. These four are the nitrogen mustards which we are going to study. All the four nitrogen mustards they form the intermediate aziridinium nucleus. So this is the aziridinium ion which they form, and this is the effective DNA destroyer. Now we are going to study chemistry and MOA of nitrogen mustards. These nitrogen mustards are one of the class of alkylating agents. They work by uh, preparing an intermediate, that is aziridinium ion, which is highly electrophilic, and then it binds to the highly nucleophilic N7 position of guanine nucleotide in DNA, and this way it destroys the DNA. So we are going to see all the steps how that aziridinium ion is formed. So for that we required a general structure of nitrogen mustard. We have R, N, CH2, CH2, Cl, CH2, CH2, Cl. So there is the first step, I write down that step as S1, that is intramolecular nucleophilic attack. Intramolecular nucleophilic attack. So this chlorine, which is highly electronegative and a very good leaving group, leaves the structure. That is why there is a generation of partial positive charge on this carbon. So the nitrogen, which is nucleophilic and have the lone pair of electron, it moves its lone pair of electrons to make this carbon stable. So we have with next, that is N, and here the formation of a strong electrophilic aziridinium complex takes place. Then there is second step, S2, that is intermolecular attack. Intermolecular nucleophilic attack. Now this aziridinium ion now is ready to attack the N7 position of a guanine molecule. So we'll draw the structure of a guanine molecule. This is double bond O. There is NH. Here it is NH2, which is fused with the imidazole nucleus, and this is the 7th position of guanine. This is further, this is one of the nucleotide of DNA. Now the aziridinium complex, which is formed here, it will attack at this position. So we'll draw the structure here, Rn plus. We have written positive charge here because the nitrogen is now a quaternary nitrogen. CH2Cl. There is a breakdown of this bond. These two carbons, they are also highly electrophilic, and this nucleophile, it will attack the N7 position of the nitrogen because there is lone pair of electrons on this nitrogen. So this is the second step. In the next step, we can see there is our nitrogen. This complex is now opened up and the lone pair is regenerated. So here it is CH2, CH2. This is CH2, this is CH2. This CH2 is now attacking the nitrogen of the guanine molecule. So we are writing directly here guanine, which is the part of DNA which carries a positive charge, and somewhere there in the space we have Cl, which was which left the structure in the first step. The other CH2, CH2, Cl, the other part of the nitrogen mustard is as it is there in the structure. So this is our alkylated DNA. Now alkylated DNA undergoes the next step, that is step 3. Again there is intramolecular attack. Intramolecular nucleophilic attack. How this is taking place? Again this chlorine is leaving, so the lone pair is now moving to this particular carbon to form one more aziridinium complex. So we'll see, we have our group here, then it is nitrogen to one side, it is CH2, CH2. I'll write G for guanine, which is attached to or the part of DNA. Then we have here another aziridinium complex formed. Nitrogen again is a quaternary nitrogen, so it is having this plus charge. Now there is next step, that is fourth step, that is our intermolecular attack. This is the electrophile which is generated, is now ready to attack another guanine molecule of the DNA. So we have one more guanine molecule here, NH, it is double bond O, here it is nitrogen which is attached to the DNA. So this is the 7th position where this this aziridinium complex, this electrophilic structure is now attacking the N7 position of another guanine of another DNA, other strand of the DNA. And then we can write down this in this form, that is R N CH2 CH2 G DNA. This is alkylated DNA. This is another DNA which is alkylated with the help of nitrogen mustards. We have positive charge on the guanine molecules, and there is somewhere in the space chlorine groups. This further moves and undergoes hydrolytic depurination, that is the last step, S5. It undergoes hydrolytic depurination. Hydrolytic depurination, wherein the damaged DNA are removed and there is a metabolite of the nitrogen mustard which is left is G plus CH2 CH2. We have N with R group, this is CH2 CH2 and G plus, and we have lone pair on electrons and two chlorines which are there in the space. This way, the nitrogen mustards are damaging or destroying the DNA. The DNA is further not replicated, and ultimately they are leading to the cell death. Thanks for watching. We'll soon be there with the new video.